Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to sell more flatware sets on your demos. So we're in our manual on page 10. We just sold a homemaker. Congratulations, Mrs. Jones. You're going to love your Cutco. High five. Let me show you two most complete sets that you might be interested in. Then in our manual, we're going to flip to page 17. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to sell more flatware sets on your demos. So we're in our manual on page 10. We just sold a homemaker. Congratulations, Mrs. Jones. You're going to love your Cutco. High five. Let me show you two most complete sets that you might be interested in. Then in our manual, we're going to flip to page 17. Let's start at the top of page 17. We're going to start by making your wish list. These aren't necessarily things you're going to buy today, but as you rep, I'll be able to keep track of what you like for future reference. Basically, as we go through here, if Cutco were free, let me know what you'd add to your set. By the way, if we get to a section that you have no interest in at all, just tell me to skip it. It's no problem. And then this first section that we have here is the flatware section. And what we're going to do, instead of reading what's written here in the manual, we're actually going to read this new flatware script that we have here on our screen. So, let's go over a couple of basic things here. A couple of tips for selling more flatware. You always show after the knives. So that's why we went over the homemaker section first, is because we sell after the knives. The knives always come first. Once people buy, it's easier for them to add to their order. Now you have to understand the basics of flatware. There's a lot of problems and common frustrations that people have with their flatware. Number one, they can get ruined in the garbage disposal. You have sharp spoons, things that get torn up in the garbage disposal. You have to throw that away and just buy a new one, which over time that can add up to a lot of money. Silver flatware is a good set of flatware is usually silver, and that needs to be polished. So there's a lot of high maintenance. So most people don't even use their nice flatware because there's a lot of high maintenance to it. Pieces get lost over time, and so when people have to replace them, oftentimes flatware companies will change the design of their handles and or the design of their flatware, so that way they have mix match flatware, so it's never the same. So if they want to have all matching flatware, they have to buy a whole new set. That's a common frustration that people will have. And most people want to have their flatware the same, where it all looks the same, it's uniform, it looks good, it's quality. But honestly, for most people, that's just not the case, because they have to purchase new items after they lose it, and it just doesn't match. So when customers first get introduced to Cutco flatware, just like the knives, oftentimes it's their first time being introduced to quality products. And so it's like the first time you purchased an iPhone. It was way more expensive than any other phone on the market, but it was worth it. Why? Because it was a new level of quality. And so that's what we're doing with Cutco flatware. A couple of perks of our flatware. First thing is this: it's lightweight but heavy duty. I always like to say it's pretty enough to use on special occasions, but practical enough to use every single day. Some people have the misconception that in order for something to be quality, it has to be heavy. That doesn't really mean anything. Like, that doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the product. It's really just the materials that it's used to be made. So our product is lightweight but still heavy duty. It has balanced handles, so that way it doesn't slide out of bowls or off plates or anything like that. It is forever guaranteed, as well as everything Cutco. Our 1810 stainless steel flatware means that it's one of the highest quality steels used in making flatware. It won't rust, bend, or break, or tarnish, and it is dishwasher safe and maintenance free. Okay, it is timeless and simple. We never change our design. We've had the same design since the 70s. So if a customer loses a piece or a few pieces and they need to replace it, they can easily get some replacements that will match their flatware. Our pattern never gets discontinued, and it's one of the last flatware companies that actually makes their flatware in America. So that's a perk, especially if somebody cares about having American union jobs. So The most common concerns about nice flatware is that it's going to tarnish or break, or it's too expensive, or change the design. So, transition line. Mrs. Jones, most people love our flatware not just for how it looks, but by how practical it is for everyday use. So just follow the script, just like everything else we sell. Make sure to say the right things. Let's go down here to our script. So the Cutco flatware approach. This is the transition from the knife. So we just finished page 10. Now we're on page 17. And really you can transition, it's anytime you get to page 17 after they've purchased the knives. Even if they don't buy the knives, you can still show them the flatware and still sell them flatware. So this is kind of your transition from the knives into the flatware. So we did page 17. Once again, I'm going to read that again for you. We're going to start by making your wish list. These aren't necessarily things you're going to buy today, but as your rep, I'll be able to keep track of what you like for future reference. Basically, as we go through here, if Cutco were free, let me know what you'd like to add to your set. By the way, if we get to a section that you have no interest in at all, just tell me to skip it. It's no problem. And then instead of reading this line here, we're going to go to our script here. And it says, okay, so the next thing I like to show my customers is the Cutco flatware. Are you familiar with it? No? Okay. Do you mind if I show it to you? Okay, great. Well, this is one of my favorite things that Cutco makes. Most people don't know this, but we're actually one of the last companies that still makes their flatware in the US. Everybody else has gone overseas. A lot of customers, when investing into quality flatware, were hesitant about damaging or losing pieces of their set and having to either replace it or buy it again or buy a brand new set to match. They also can be a higher maintenance for polishing as well. What's great about Cutco is it's 1810 stainless steel, which is the highest grade of steel used in flatware in North America. It resists rusting, pitting, and tarnishing, so it keeps its appearance longer than other brands. What's also great is if customers lose any pieces in the set, they can call Cutco and buy open stock items, so they always open stock items to always replace individual pieces. We make this one design for that reason, so you'll have it available for purchase if necessary, and it's low maintenance as it's dishwasher safe and guaranteed like everything else. So if you damage it, break it, etc., just send it back in and Cutco will fix it or replace it for free. It's designed to look nice for special occasions, but built tough to handle everyday usage. Now our most popular option for flatware is our 60-piece set. It serves for about 12, and Cutco has a package deal that includes the 6-piece serving set. They retail for about $3,000, which is for quality flatware, similar to what brands that you might find at Williams-Sonoma or Pottery Barn. However, Cutco right now has a package deal where it sells for $22.43, and you can split that into 5 payments, interest-free, for only $4.53 plus tax per month. And just so you know, if you decide to get that set today, I can include up to $300 worth of Cutco for free of your choice to go with it. Now, this is not written in the script. This is not written in the script, but you need to have a closing line or a ask for the order line. So I personally like to say, okay, how does that sound? And based on that, we can figure out if this is the right option for them or if we need to drop down, because we do have some drop down options. Here on my orders app, what I'm pulling up is the flatware set plus the 6-piece stainless set. Now this is the price that we quoted for them. The 6-piece stainless accessory set plus the chest itself costs $22.43 and $31.88 on retail value, but on the Cutco discounted prices, it's $22.42. So it's a huge discount from the original price. Now, if we needed to, we could take these options and give them a better deal. So if we say, Mrs. Jones, how does that sound? And they say, it's a little bit too much money. What we'll do is there's a dropping down phrase that says, no problem, just so you know, we do have an option to sell this without the serving set, or we could do a smaller amount of place settings with or without the knife. So then the follow-up question is, Mrs. Jones, can you see yourself using the accessory set? If she says yes, here's my option. I'm going to go ahead and bonus that for her as her free gift. So, hey, Mrs. Jones, I mentioned that we have $300 worth of free stuff that we can do for the buy now bonus. Instead of giving you extra stuff, I can actually just add a $300 discount. So I'll go ahead and bonus that 6-piece stainless accessory set. Instead of it being $22.42, it's only going to be $18.81 for all these items. How does that sound? Is that any better? And a lot of times what you're going to find is that they're actually impressed with how big of a discount that they're able to get. And ideally, this is the option that works for them. Now, if this doesn't work, if they still say, no, that's too much money, okay, well then, Mrs. Jones, how many place settings can you see yourself using? And at that point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here to our flatware section, and she's gonna say 4, 6, 8, 10, however many it is. And you're gonna say, did you want the stainless table knife or the 4-piece, just the forks and spoons? Most of the time they're gonna choose with the table knife because that's really the star of the show. So let's say that they say, I want 6 pieces with the table knife. So we're gonna add this to the cart, change the quantity to 6, and you're gonna see that it's $12.66 for 6 of these. Now, what's interesting about this is, if they want to double the amount of place settings, it's only about $400 more, $500 more maybe, and they get all of that, and they can get the accessory set for free. So you can see how that might be a better deal when you average it out like that. But with if really price is the main issue and $18.81 is just totally out of the budget, you can drop it down to $12.66 for the 6 in full, or $258 per month for 5 months plus tax. Now, I'm showing you this because you want to be able to drop down, and the key phrase is, how many place settings would you use, Ms. Jones? That way you can get started with a small amount and work your way up over time. Because honestly, if Mrs. Jones has grandkids or family that comes over, friends that come over, then she's gonna need more than 4, 5, 6 place settings most of the time. Family reunions, things like that. Oftentimes there's more people like that, but this is always a good starting place to get that. So a couple of final tips for you. When you're showing the flatware, keep your enthusiasm level at a 10. Oftentimes we get really excited about the knives because the knives are awesome, but when we get down to the flatware accessories or things that we don't really understand as much, things that we haven't been trained on or taught a lot, we kind of lose our confidence. Sometimes we might lose our enthusiasm. Keep your enthusiasm up. Keep that enthusiasm at a level 10, because your customers will only be excited about this if you're excited about this. So make sure you get excited about this. One thing one of my mentors told me one time is, when you ask if they've heard of Cutco, or when you've asked if they've heard of the flatware or if they've seen it before, be actually shocked that they haven't seen it before. You might think that's silly because you're like, well, I haven't heard about it before, so like, why would they hear about it? But it's a way to generate excitement. So if you're like, Mrs. Jones, have you seen our flatware before? And they're like, no, I haven't. You're like, you haven't seen our flatware before? Oh my gosh, this stuff is awesome. I'd love to show it to you. Just something simple, something basic to build some excitement. Lastly, my last tip for you on this: do a great knife demo. If they love the knives, if they love Cutco, then it's going to be easy to sell them some flatware, because they're just already in love with the product. And some of the best people to sell flatware to is Cutco owners. Cutco owners already have the knives, so they know how good it is, and when they can get guaranteed forks and spoons forever as well with high quality materials and high quality usage, they're usually a fan of that. So keep selling, keep doing your best, work hard, and hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching.